Welcome, friend, to the world of Kryn. Step into the river of time and let it carry you along its slow-moving current as it winds its way through history and the continent of Ansalon. Be a part of that history as you join the never-ending struggle between chaos and order. On Kryn, the gods of good and evil war eternally, joined in the battle by mortal beings such as yourself and Kryn's true children, the dragons. You may journey with wizards as they risk their lives to take the test that can grant them great power. You may quest with brave knights to prove honor and worth, or discover heroes and ordinary people who fight for their homes and loved ones. Your travels may take you through lands of mysterious ruins, populated with terrifying creatures. You may fly on the backs of dragons in service of your cause, be it good or evil. The continent of Ansalon is a land of marvelous beauty, with a rich and fascinating history. You can choose to fight on the side of good, serve a cause of evil, or work to maintain the balance of the world. You may restore lost knowledge to the people, or search for powerful magical artifacts to aid in your struggle. You will face the awesome power of enemy worms and soar the skies on the backs of dragons that serve your cause. Welcome, friends, to the Dragonlance campaign, brought to you by i-gameonline.
Last time we left off, the Caramon and Goldmoon and Riverwind and Raceland have come sliding down a pipe and crashed onto about half a dozen gully dwarfs who were just started their daily shift, or their normal shift, of cleaning out these sliding pipes. And they've landed in a building that seems to have been turned upside down. Yes? And the last conversation we had was, why is there cribs, or why is there like beds and things like this in this other room? And I explained that a crib is gully dwarf bed sized. Yes? To have a crib, it is luxury for a gully dwarf to have a crib as opposed to an actual full-size bed. Now, this reason for this is quite simple. You can get probably about 20 or 30 gully dwarfs sleeping on one bed.
That's a normal human-sized bed.
That's a king-size bed, yes. Normal-sized bed, you can get 20 or 30 gully dwarves on a mattress, all piled on top of each other, all sleeping comfortably. To actually have a crib to yourself is like the next level in gully dwarf status. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, so a gully dwarf that has his own crib is kind of like making his way in the world. Yes? Yeah.
I'm sorry, I can just picture that in my head now. Gully dwarf thinking big of themselves, going, "Oh, I got a bed to myself."
Yeah, he doesn't have to share it with
Getting
anyone. Yes, the little things in life for a gully dwarf are very pleasing towards them. We also we had Tika, Tanis, Tika, it's alright, I heard a bang behind me, I don't know what the hell it was, sorry for people on the stream. We have a, what did I say, it was a Tanis, we have a Tika, we have a Flint, and we have a Tasselhoff, who've now been accompanied by a Kyushu tribeswoman, who Tasselhoff found hiding behind the falling waterfall in the cave entrance. Where the water was cascading down, and I think it's safe to assume that this tribeswoman she made her escape. She explains that she made her escape while she was being moved from independent cells to group cells in an area behind the Great Grand Plaza. She marked off on the map, which is down here. This red X, where the dragon and the draconian High Lord was kind of like talking, discussing things, and she says there's some areas behind there where they keep the cells, and she was being moved from some of the single cells into the group cells, and she managed to slip away and make a run for it, and she ran, and not knowing where to hide, she hid in behind the waterfall. Yeah. Well, the water being significantly deep, none of the gully dwarves were going to find her there, because gully dwarves are not the best swimmers in the world, so they're not necessarily afraid of water, they're just afraid of how deep the water is. None of the gully dwarves can swim, by the way.
I can relate.
Heavy stone.
Yeah, well, that's something they're not taught.
Sounds like the...
Yeah, they've never learned how
Yeah,
to swim.
sounds like the heavy stones. Seriously.
They've never been taught how to. They've never taught. Nobody's been, smart enough to actually teach a gully dwarf how to swim. It's like many societies across Kryn have determined that as being a complete waste of time, and of no benefit to them whatsoever.
Aww.
So, we'll start with the party that's at the top in the upside down room. Goldmoon, you were looking around, and I did explain that there was these cribs in this room, and
me and Raceland were walking around together.
yeah, and I explained that the larger of the rooms, this one here, just off to the side, the kind of this C-shaped room, is wooden floorboards, but they weren't originally wooden floorboards. They're wooden floorboards from the room that was above it, but now it's been turned completely upside down, so it's like a wooden panel ceiling that you'd be walking on. Some of the boards are very springy. Yeah?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And to get into the rooms, you have to step over the actual door frame itself, because the room's upside down.
Yes.
Okay. Riverwind is there, and Raceland is there, and Caramon is there as well.
Yep.
I still find it weird that there's cribs in this room that looks like a cellar.
This small little corner room is the cellar. This room here, which is
But it's right next to the cellar, so it's like,
yeah,
I
it's
still
kind
find
of
it very
it's
weird.
like a cellar storeroom kind of thing. Yeah,
cribs.
it feels odd, but
I feel like this entire area should have some purpose. I just don't know what.
yes, you did quiz the gully dwarves before they made their way begrudgingly up the pipe to start cleaning it again. If there was a way down, they said, yeah, there's a big drop at the back.
Not going there.
Yeah, that's right. I'll have a little walk around there so I can see it.
Just don't go down it. Ow.
I need one sec. But I'm looking in the room with the cribs and deciding whether or not to go in or not.
I thought we both stepped in that room.
Did we?
Yeah, because we decided the room first was a bit wonky, and we thought, okay, maybe best not to
This one.
step on something that looks well. If we went from the first right-hand turn,
Yeah.
we said that little path was a bit iffy, so we decided to go into the crib room, which looked a bit stable,
Yeah, it's very iffy.
and that's how we discovered that there were cribs in it, because we actually stepped over it into the room.
Yeah, step into the room, and you can see that there's been some smashed up larger pieces of furniture, which must have been dressers and wardrobes or some kind of clothing storage things. A couple of very large beds and some cribs. None of them are arranged in any particular order. They just seem to be at odd angles and resting on top of things, and that sort of thing.
Is there something we can do, like is there a perception we can do?
Oh, what are you looking for?
I don't know. I just want to see what's out of the ordinary. Like, I understand there's cribs in here, but what else is here?
Is there gully dwarves in the room?
There's no gully dwarves in this room, no.
Sorry. Bless you.
There was.
We seem to have lost Azali for some reason as well.
She's back, don't worry.
Oh, okay. There she is. Yeah. So, what do you want to perceive for? There's that's what you can tell straight away. You can, if there's a thief amongst you, you can look for traps and secret doors and things like that. But if there's no thief amongst you, then you can do a kind of an intuition test kind of thing.
Unfortunately, there is no thief among us, so it will need to be intuition. Ladies first.
If I can find the...
I don't even know what I really want to look for. I mean, I just don't understand what this room is. I mean,
You can use a spell if you wish to detect for
I don't want to.
hidden objects or anything like that.
I'll look for another door first to make sure there's not just a dead end.
You can see that there is this. There was previously a double door area, but because the room's upside down now, both doors have actually fell off their hinges, and there's a small wall, which would have been the gap between the top of the door and the ceiling. Because the room's upside down now, it's an actual small low-level wall of about 1.5 foot.
Right, right.
What's the flooring look like towards it?
The floor towards it.
Yeah. Does it look like bad like the last one?
It's whatever was on the roof of the previous building. This one seems to be like kind of like it's a wooden planks, but the wooden planks seem to have a white plaster like at some point plastered across them. A lot of the plaster seems to have chipped and cracked, and you can see where the joining planks are all like connecting towards each other. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, is there any weapons around here?
No, not as such.
I'm probably going to start heading towards the other door then.
Okay.
You're not thinking of going down, are you?
Also, I'm going to keep an eye out for the hole that I don't fall down.
The hole.
Yeah, there's a hole that you go down to get down below.
Yeah, yeah.
Make
It's
sure
just
that-
Yeah,
large
we're
hole.
definitely not going that route.
Well, you
Just
and
saying.
Thingy were standing by the pipe, weren't you? So
Yeah,
we've got to come back to you, so don't worry. I just don't want to fall down there.
alright. It's just for your character, just be careful.
Okay, so you're making your way towards the low wall double door area now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Caramon with you?
No, Rayston's with me.
Oh, Raistling's with you. Okay.
No, Caramon's with
Riverwind.
Riverwind. Yeah, Riverwind.
Okay, Raistling, you want to do anything? Well, he's just making his way towards across the room.
No. No, I'm good.
No, I'm good.
Yeah.
What, are you going to stay where you are?
Happy just watching Goldman do whatever it is she's
Goldman.
doing. Yep.
Okay.
What's in the cribs?
Happy keeping an eye, like, if she falls or anything like that, I'm obviously going to go in and do what I can to save her.
Okay.
Otherwise, I'm just kind of keeping an eye, because I'm not 100% convinced that we're area, even though there's been nothing to tell me otherwise.
While I'm walking towards that doorway, can I look in the cribs to make sure there's nothing hidden in there, or any treasures, or any like clay numbers? What are they called?
Clay tablets, the clay seals.
Clay seals. That was it. Yeah.
There's no clay seals. No, there is the reminiscence of some ceramic, like vases, very decorative, quite patterned, like some nice,
What's the
like
patty?
kind of like a wavy line kind of pattern. It looks like it's been some kind of like blue and white, sea, ocean, like waves, like enameled onto them at some point. A lot of the pieces have. I mean, they obviously no longer contain any kind of can hold any water. They're smashed to pieces. But you can see that there has been some vases in there at some point.
Okay, I mean, I'll just continue going to the door and go hop over
There's
it.
nobody in the cribs. There's nobody in the cribs. There's no good dwarf sleeping or anything like that. But you can see that the mattress and the clothing, and you can see in some instances what they've done is they've taken some of the curtains down as well, although they're very old and tattered and torn. They've been using them for like makeshift blankets and sheets and things like that.
Okay.
You make your way over to the double door area, and there's a low wall, like I said, there's a low wall in front of you. You can easily step over it. On the other side, you can see that it is the similar kind of flooring as you saw from the previous side. So you assume it is a very large large room, considerably large room.
I'm just being a bit wary of the floor that it's not like going to give way underneath my foot, so I'm trying to be a bit more. I don't know.
No, but the boards are very springy. The boards are very springy. They seem to be a little drier towards this side of the building than they were when you originally came down the pipe.
Okay.
There is there's pieces of like ceramic tile and mosaic and stuff like that, and dust and big gravel and concrete and stuff like that. Just seems to be littering, filling the gaps on the actual wooden boards, filling the gaps between the cross beams and the rafters, which is now on the floor in front of you, obviously. It's an assortment of different bits and pieces as well. There's some pieces of torn fabric, nothing that resembles anything of any importance. Might have been curtains at one point, might have been maybe old tapestries that used to hang from the walls or something like that. There's a completely empty picture frame, plain, like just a wooden one, kind of heavily engraved. The painting in it has been cut out.
Okay.
Yeah, like somebody's come along and just removed the painting, but left the picture frame. And that seems to be like lying at a strange, like 30-40 degree angle, tipped backwards on itself, stuck between some broken pieces of wall and some plaster.
Okay, I mean, I'll just walk around this area looking for that hole and keep an eye open for anything else.
Alright, okay, so you're in here. Wasteland?
I'm still keeping an eye on her. As long as she's in my field of vision, that's what I'm doing.
Oh yeah.
If she's if Goldman leaves my field of vision, I move so that I can see her.
That's fine. You can. It is very dark, but you can easily keep an eye on Goldmoon. We've got a honeydew just dropped out.
Yeah, hopefully she'll be back.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, nothing was moving.
Alright, okay. See, as you're making your way into the room and you're stepping over from stepping over the small little beams, the cross beams that seem to uphold the roof to at one point, knowing fine well that underneath these cross beams could be maybe another floor, or there could be just a sheer drop. You know what I mean, there's nothing. You can't really tell whether there's an actual physical floor below this because of this building itself has been completely turned upside down. It could be the roof tiles, there could be absolutely nothing. So you're tiptoeing, taking your time very, very slowly to try and get around all this kind of stuff. Riverwind and Caramon, you're still at the pipe. The other two, Goldmoon and Raceland, have kind of they've ventured on a good bit now. They've ventured on probably about 20 or 30 feet away. You can hear the occasional knock and the falling of plaster and rocks and the occasional piece of wood being kicked to one side or something like that.
Right.
You can hear it, so you know that they are still nearby, but you can't really see them too clearly. Is there anything you want
Should
to
I go and keep an eye on them? Or...
You can go keep an eye on them. I'll stay at the entrance to see if something doesn't sneak up on us.
Alright, sounds like a plan. So I do that.
Okay. You go the same way?
I'm gonna basically trying to keep my best an eye on both Raceland and Goldmoon.
Right.
Going to try anyway, so.
And you make your way following Raceland. Caramon, you're guarding the pipe entrance. You can hear the scrapings and the screams of the gully dwarves that went up just a few minutes before, just kind of die away. All you can hear now is you are completely alone now in that turned upside down cellar storeroom area, or whatever it was before it was found the way you found it. And everybody else seems to have just left you. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
Caramon.
No, I'm standing guard in case.
Yeah, but still, you're on your own. It's terrible.
On your own.
I can take care of myself. I'm a big boy.
Still terrible.
Okay. Okay. You're busy exploring the upstairs. You guys downstairs, you're trying to drying yourselves out. Flint?
I'm the dry one, aren't
I'm
I?
gonna say you're completely dry. You're completely dry.
Sally, can you play as Georgie Katie's character, please?
Yes. Yes, I can.
It was requested by Georgie.
That's it. Oh god.
Awesome.
Just wing it.
Just wing it. Tasselhoff.
I usually do it anyway, so it's fine.
He's buggered off again.
No, Tasselhoff has completely lost interest in the fact that you've gone swimming. That Tika and Tanis have gone swimming. He's kind of like semi-upset that you didn't invite him. But that's quickly, instantly dismissed when he introduces this Kyushu tribe plainswoman, who he said was he found behind the waterfall. And like I say, she explained that she was part of a group of people that were captured from Kyushu, brought down in the big iron pot kind of thing on the chain, and then put into cells some point beyond this point. Okay, she can take you back to the cells. She doesn't really want to take you back to the cells. Yeah. Her natural instinct is just to try and get out of here, but not really knowing what direction to run in. Her instincts and her basic abilities in survival have forced her just to hide, just to stay hidden. The moment stay hidden is keeping her alive. But Teslov seems to have discovered her. Okay.
Okay.
Alright, I was gonna say, yeah.
Yeah, why are you waiting for me?
So wait,
I was listening.
Oh, okay. You.
It's just every so often I have to move.
I know. That's what I was waiting for. So is there anything you want to plan, or anything you want to? You know the location now that there are some cells, and that there is various Kyushu members being kept in these cells. There's various individual cells, and there seems to be like group cells as well. What they're being captured for, what they're being like used for, anything like that. She can't really say much about it. She just knows that the Draconians have been rounding you up and dragging you away. But she does know the location of the dragon. She tells you the dragon is somewhere nearby, somewhere near the cells. She tells you that there's several members of their tribe that have been taken to see the dragon and haven't come back.
Gotta eat.
Which is code for they were food.
Yeah. Do we still continue doing the thing?
My Tasselhoff said, well, we're waiting for it. Let's just go and... we're supposed to be looking for these discs. Why don't we just go to the dragon and just ask if we can have them?
No! You dumbass!
He's not going to need them.
I didn't make it.
But it doesn't matter. He can still eat us. You don't just go up to the dragon and be like, hey, can I have your discs?
Yeah, he's not going to need them. And I said he's never been eaten.
Yeah, you're the disc. I'm going to eat you.
He's never been eaten by a dragon before. It'd be interesting to find out what that's like.
No, that's not something you would want to find out.
How do you know?
Cass, wouldn't it be infinitely more interesting to see these cells that no one's seen?
Yeah.
No.
He's never
It's
seen
so
the dragon.
bad.
He said he quickly realizes that the fact that he could be eaten by a dragon would be like interesting, and he's very curious to find out as what that would be like. And then he realizes that he's never actually seen a dragon, apart from the one he saw outside, and he never got a proper look. So he suggests that we go and get a proper look this time.
If we go down there,
We will. Once we find
Eventually.
everyone else.
yes.
Let's find everyone else first, and then we will all go together and get a proper look. That way,
Yes.
no one misses out.
Exactly.
I says, "Oh, that'd be awesome. That'd be amazing. We're gonna go and see a dragon. We're gonna spend time. I wonder if we get to answer any of our questions."
He's not going to answer any questions, I'm sure, but you know, at least we'll get to see him.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Let's just continue what we're doing, which was gain discs. Or at least doing this thing that we're doing right now.
oh, wait,
Wink, wink.
Oh, what are we doing now? Which direction are you heading in then?
It was getting the dwarfs to bring the clay seals,
You split
right?
them up, didn't you? One went off one way, and one went another way, and then one stayed with you.
Yeah, one stayed with you, and the one that stayed with you is the one that's got all the clear seals, like in his arm, like in his hands, and he's also got them like tucked into his shirt, kind of thing. It's a bit like a little bucket with his shirt, and he's got several of them rammed in his mouth.
And what about the other ones that we had them split off?
Oh, they like in the commotion of Tanos diving into the water after Tika, they disappeared.
Well, we're heading towards the main circular hole.
Well, this grand
Right.
plaza in the middle.
Yeah, we're not going in it yet, but we have a peek.
You're heading that way.
Correct.
Are ya?
Correct, Faye.
I'd
Okay,
go to
Leon.
the cells.
Hmm?
I said I would go to the cells.
In your group, yeah.
They have to get past the dragon to do that, or they have to
Oh.
Yeah,
at
they
least
would.
be near the dragon to do that. Probably.
Yeah, I missed that.
Yeah.
It's possibly the dragon might just be in a completely different corridor and not know that they're there, but it's in the same location.
Basically, making way towards the Grand Plaza. Yeah, like in short order, you make your way back to the Grand Plaza. The water in the Grand Plaza seems to be less turbulent, and seems to be a little bit more shallower as well. It's not like receiving the full force of like a 100-foot drop waterfall coming cascading down directly into it, which over like a couple of 100 years has just pummeled a big giant dive pool underneath it. You know, the water erosion's created like a deeper river in that segment, which is what Tika and Tanis went swimming in. It's now just like it spills out onto the very large open plaza that you were in earlier. There's various rivers that seem to meet here to like a giant lake area. Plaza itself is, you know, a couple of 100 feet across. There's a couple of gully dwarves, like dotting around the place. There's one which is on the far side, if you can call it a riverbank. I'll mark the gully dwarves in like a nice little, maybe an orange colour. There's one over here. Oh, it's not quite orange, but he's got a fishing rod.
Which one?
The one over here. There's a little gully dwarf just sat over here. He's got a fishing rod.
Okay.
Okay. There is a couple over here. Couple of little gully dwarfs just dotted around over here. They seem to be like washing like what's left of their clothes in the water. Yes, they can see that they've got like a wash tub kind of thing. Like it looks like a half broken barrel, but it's not broken like short ways on. It's broken long ways on, you know, like cut down the middle. And they got like a pile of clothes and things like that, a pile of rags. You wouldn't even call them clothes, you would call them rags. And they have a big pile of them inside this half-turned barrel. And they are, what they're doing is they have an interesting way of doing laundry. What they do is they throw the clothes in upstream. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And the other little gully dwarf seems to catch them with a very long pole, with a nail at the other end, and then drags them out onto the onto the plaza, and then when he speared them, because that is the best way to describe it, he's spearing his clothes as they float past, and then dragging them back up, and then putting them back into the barrel kind of thing. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So one of the far side seems to be fishing, and two on this side seem to be doing spear laundry.
And that's everyone in the room.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, there's a couple of them are coming and going.
No head honcho guy.
No, there doesn't seem to be any much in the way of a head honcho.
Just gully dwarves.
Gully dwarfs, yeah. It'd be easy to say that the population of gully dwarfs, the head honcho people, or big boss, the bosses.
Big boss.
The big boss is commonly referred to as the dragon, and then the bosses are just the people that boss the gully dwarfs around.
Yeah.
There's probably about maybe 10 to 15, possibly 20 gully dwarfs for every other boss.
Neat.
Incidentally, they refer to anybody taller than them as a boss.
So are we bosses?
No, Zilly, you're not a boss. You're the same height as them.
No, Flint is a little taller, not much taller, but a little taller than them. But yeah, the taller a person is, or the bigger a person is, the more important they must be in the world of things. That's the way they've been taught.
Makes sense.
The bigger you are, the more important you are. Yeah. Gully dwarves are incredibly small. The only thing
If Cameron was here, he'd be the most important.
Yeah, oh yeah, he'd be
Yeah.
God. Yes.
I'd be just below the dragon.
Yes. The dragon is comparable to a god. The fact that it's not a gully dwarf, it's not even a human or an elf or a dwarf or anything like that, but actually has wings and can fly and do stuff like that and talk, that makes it almost deity-like. Yes. Yes, and that subsequently is why all the gully dwarves are all afraid of it. So
Don't blame them.
No, yes, because the big boss or the big god kind of gets angry sometimes. So. You guys have just walked onto this plaza and you've seen like one of them that seems to be fishing. He's got a stick, and he's got what remains of an old shoelace hanging from the stick, and on the end of the shoelace he's got a bottle. So it seems to be floating in the river. Yeah.
Say a bowl or ball?
A bottle.
Oh, a bottle.
Yeah, like an old cider bottle. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Right, and he's fishing.
Does that maybe be like his hook? Is that the picture I'm getting?
I'll let you just work on the
laughing.
picture yourself. I'll let you work on the picture yourself, but that's what he's doing. He's got a bottle and he's got an old shoelace tied to the end of the bottle, and he's got it on the end of a stick. And he's floating this bottle in the river, and it looks like he's fishing.
He's fishing for secret messages.
And these other two are, one of them's throwing laundry into old sheets or old rags or clothing of some sort, you're not really sure. Throwing them into this river stream kind of thing. They're floating downstream, and then somebody at the end is spearing them and dragging them back out and putting them into a bucket. That's right, like an upturned barrel. Okay?
Okay.
Totally confused everybody now. So what are you doing? What's the team downstairs doing? What can see this?
Okay.
We lost Azali again.
She's resetting her router.
Oh, jeez. Okay. So who's downstairs? Faye, Tanis.
Just me.
It's kind of just Faye who can
It's
actually
just
talk.
Faye at the
about
moment, yeah.
And I'm thinking.
Alright, well, we'll come back to that. We can come back to that. Oh, pressing the wrong buttons here. There we go. Okay, back upstairs. Back upstairs. Raceland. Have we got Raceland?
Raceland
Yes.
has...
Yes, we got Raceland. We got Raceland.
Just
Raceland,
me.
you can see that Riverwind is coming up behind you. Okay? Not directly behind you, but about 10-15 feet away. Trying very carefully to stay upright while like struggling underfoot of slipping and sliding over bits of broken furniture and various bits and pieces. And you see Goldman go into the room, and you step over the door threshold and step into the room as well. Taking a couple of minutes just to like to adjust yourself, you sit down on the actual, you know, the roof joint of the door. Okay, you just sit yourself down there for a couple of minutes. Goldmoon goes into the room. Goldman, you can see that this room has an awful lot of like brickwork and things like that seem to have spilled out and fell out into this room. And on the left-hand side of this room, you can see there used to be, well, you assume was a very large stone fireplace.
Oh, I knew it was going to be a chimney. I figured it.
Yeah.
Oh God,
It's-
that's
yeah.
the big drop. It's the chimney.
It's a fireplace, a big fireplace. Now you then quickly put two and two together, and you realise that there must have been a portrait hanging above the fireplace, and that's what the picture frame was. And then you realise all the stonework that seems to have like smashed down onto the room must have been either from inside the chimney or from around the fireplace. And then it dawns on you that it's not an actual shelf; it's the mantelpiece. So it's like the mantelpiece of the chimney, and it all starting to make sense to you now. If you want to actually climb down the chimney, what you have to do is you'll have to stand on the actual this wooden beam of a mantelpiece and actually like climb into the chimney. Okay?
Mm.
I don't want to get dirty. I mean, in my head, I had a picture of the chimney sweeper from Mary Poppins getting like completely covered in soot. I didn't want to come out looking like that.
It's quite a large fireplace, but you can see, yes, that the room's been turned upside down, so like there is a good like 4-foot gap between you and the mantelpiece, and then just above the mantelpiece there's like another foot or so, and then you'll have to climb into the chimney itself because the fireplace is turned upside down, and the big drop, the big hole, is in fact the old chimney, the old fireplace chimney. It does in fact go down, yes, but you can't see how far or for how long it goes down.
Okay, well I'll leave that and I will continue looking around the room for anything else I can see in the room. Oh, so it's like a little mini house area for some reason.
Okay. So a lot. The reason why there's so much stone and so much rubble in this part of the building is because a lot of the actual chimney, like, you don't know if it's come down from inside the chimney, like I don't know, maybe the chimney pots or something like that's come down and smashed into it.
So am I currently in the sitting room?
Yeah, it's in the living room. You assume that you're in the living room. There must have been a giant portrait at some point hanging over the fireplace, and either somebody's removed the painting and left the frame, not thinking the frame is actually worth anything or does anything or serves any purpose whatsoever. But they've actually looks like they've cut the painting away from the frame itself.
Frame itself, yeah.
Looking around, it's all starting to make sense. Raceland, you quickly, like within milliseconds, realise that the way down is through this derelict chimney. Yeah. Looking around, you can see that appears to be an old accordion. Which surprisingly has survived the impact. It's only lost one leg. Yeah, it's kind of like tilted on its side. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, and it's only half buried under rubble, but all the keys look intact.
Play it.
Play the two notes.
No, I said all the keys.
I won't do that. I will
Yeah, don't let anyone to our presence.
I don't care.
You really should.
No, well, I'll press 1.
The reason we're in this situation, remember, is because someone else got alerted to our presence, and we had to ran into the wrong location.
My fault.
I wasn't saying it was your fault, but it was because someone got seen or heard, and we've not really got anywhere else to go.
I look to see if there's any strings or anything like that attached to the accordion before I jangle on the keys.
It looks like it's in fully functional working order. It hasn't been played in probably a couple of centuries. But
connected to it, like
at least half the keyboard. At least like I would say probably a 2/3 of the keyboard actually work. The last third of the keyboard is got a pillar that just gone straight through it. And it's probably like broken some of the piano wires and things like that in it. Yeah, so it's just like an old kind of ancient harpsichord kind of thing. The keys look okay. The keys look fine. Like I say, it looks like nobody's ever played it in a considerable amount of time. I say one of the 3 legs has been smashed clean off and it's kind of lying on its side.
Maybe it's a secret code. We play the noise and it opens some other special passage.
I was wanting to jangle on the keys. And
You
you
play the
guys are
keys.
like, no, don't do it.
I personally am against it. I don't think Goldman's noticed you with the organ yet, so.
Yeah, so it's like an organ kind of thing. Organ, piano, harpsichord thing. It'll all be on the same roll. So if if you decide to play it, if you want to play it, it looks like it'll play quite well. Although half the keys, like a 1/3 of the keys are unplayable. So.
Bam.
So yeah.
Yeah.
You just press a key and no sound will come out. But it looks like most of it can be played. It's not of any value. I mean, yeah, if you can get it, if you can get it out of here and you can get it repaired, then yeah, it's probably going to be quite quite a prized possession.
But getting it repaired is going to be another thing.
Getting it out of here, it's going to be one thing that we can repair.
Pushing it out the pipe.
Yeah, I know.
It looks like it's very expensive. Rislin, you noticed that there's an engraver's mark on it, like a carpenter's mark?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and you recognise the carpenter's mark, and the carpenter's mark is a very prestigious musical kind of carpentry constructor. Yes. Famous reproducer of musical instruments, especially those made of wood. I mean, anybody can chop a tree down and build a house and all the rest of it, but actually chop a tree down and actually carve it into a piece of musical furniture is on another scale, or no, another level altogether. You've got, it's a very prestigious piece of furniture that seems to be in this house.
What is the name that's on this?
Calypso.
Is it an organ or is it a keyboard?
It has a keyboard. It's not an organ. It doesn't need any wind or anything like that. It requires the vibration of strings. So it's like a piano harpsichord kind of thing.
Harpsichord.
Looking at, you can see it's a Calypso Flamingo.
Calypso Flamingo.
Okay. Okay.
How's that spelled?
Oh God.
It's like, I just want to make sure that my note is correct. I don't want to.
No, this is right.
Is it Calypso or Eclipso?
No, Calypso. Calypso. Calypso and Flamingo.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was a very flamboyant, brightly dressed cabinet music
I
maker.
am going to jingle on the keys.
Okay.
I'm just going to
Should see if there's any little books there that have like proper songs in.
Okay.
ACDC heavy metal.
You know what? I don't care. I don't care. I'm jingling on the keys. If there's books around, there's books around. there's books. If me jangling on the keys doesn't work just generally, then I might pick up a book and see. But
Okay, you're going up to the piano or the keyboard, the actual ivories themselves, and you can see that they're all beautiful.
Yep.
They're a little dusty, but they all look very elegantly, wonderfully made. Some of them have still got the actual gold leaf of the notes, the lettering of the notes, kind of still in, like, set into them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Do a dexterity check.
Oh, bother. Hold on. Need my stuff.
Really? You've been playing this how long and you still don't have it ready?
Dexterity check.
Give me a second.
Just roll a d20.
Dexterity or less, just
Oh, okay.
yeah, just dexterity or less.
Do you need me to roll for it?
Yeah,
You mean-
dexterity.
Yeah.
What's your dexterity?
My dexterity is... Oh god. It looks like a 16, so I'm going with 16.
Yeah, 16, that's fine, yeah. Rislin will have a good dexterity because it doesn't have any armor or any strength or anything like that, kind of constitutional deficit. So
Mine is 10.
yeah, because you're a dwarf.
That's pretty good still.
It is, it's average.
Mine's
Well, it's half a
That's
half.
fine.
You can. It's
Fine.
50-50.
You go over, you make your way over, very, very
Mm,
dexterity.
fine.
You roll your finger across the keys, very, and they feel like kind of like it's still solid. You press one of them, and it plays a surprisingly correct note. There's a nice little like kind of like a bing. Sounds good. It's not too loud. It's not too quiet. It's kind of like you're hearing it. Gold Moon, you turn around and you hear the note come being played on this like lopsided, half destroyed piano harpsichord. Okay.
Alright.
Goblin just does not have any reaction to this whatsoever.
Oh well, I thought you were going to do like instead of just doing one. I thought you were going to continue a little bit longer. Okay, so you do one.
Yeah, it works. It works. You've just determined that it does actually work.
I will then turn around and go, what are you doing? Trying to stay quiet so we don't get seen and spotted. And... Oh my god, I'm going to have a heart attack. And then I say, see if he's got a musical book. I like music. While I continue walking around the corner.
All right. Yeah,
I'll have a look to see if there's any music.
you look at around as if there's see if there's any music books. Well,
I
go
would
on.
just there's a musical page nearby.
That's
if
music,
there's-
pieces of music paper and things like that.
If there's a page that looks as if it's been used quite a lot, then I'll probably try and discern that and maybe play a bit of music. Because if there's a page that's kicking around that's been used a lot, chances are that's like a page that could open a secret passage.
Okay.
Also, there might be an inscription on the frame of the picture frame that might have a note or so many notes that could open the door.
Picture frame you have, so
I didn't have. I'm not. It's just on the wall or what on the floor.
It's on the floor.
well, you would still be the better person. You would still be the better person if you had a better look at it than me.
Why do you
When you
argue
were
about
doing that, I was keeping an eye on you.
looking around for musical notes and song sheets and all that kind of stuff and music books and things like that? Riverwind has come into the same room that you're in.
Yes.
And Riverwind, you can see Raistlin inspecting and getting ready to play a piano harpsichord, and Goldmoon instructing him to play something semi-decent and look around for a music book. Okay.
Music book.
Is there anything you want to do?
Who?
Riverwind.
Riverwind.
Sorry.
Sorry, yeah, Riverwind, you've arrived at the room. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And they are, you can see that Raistlin and Goldmoon are talking about finding some piano music or looking for some song sheets or something like that, and talking about picture frames and things like that. And Raceland's going to kind of lopside himself and try and play this piano harpsichord.
I mean, thinking about it, if you, I think with some music they might be like in books and such, wouldn't it?
Okay.
I'm just thinking that are there like any shelves about or something?
You can see that there's a very large shelf. It seems to stretch just above, like sort of almost like elbow height. That runs on the left-hand side wall, and then there's a short gap, and then there seems to be a very, very big black space.
A very big.
Yeah. That side of the wall seems to be made of stone.
Does that shelf have any type of books on it? No.
No, it's just a wooden shelf.
What's the black space then?
Great big hole. It's quite regularly cut as well, like at right angles, like a square hole.
A square hole?
Yeah,
what, going down or?
That's a big hole inside the wall at the moment.
Can I look down it?
You'd have to climb up on the shelf if you're going to look down it.
I would do that ever so carefully.
Okay.
Yeah, so I climb on the shelf and look down at the hole.
Okay.
What do I see?
Climb up on the shelf. Like after a little bit of a struggle kind of thing, climb up on the shelf, and you can see that there's a huge pit. Sticking your head inside and quickly having a look down, you can see that above you is kind of like an iron grate. Yes, blocking any way of being able to climb up. But down below you, there is a huge like it's like a stone tunnel going straight down. But it just descends into blackness.
Okay, so no going up here. I climb down.
I turn around and say, "Oh, be careful of the chimney. It's a bit brittle. It might break away."
Chimney?
It's a chimney, yes. It's the fireplace where you're looking in through at the moment.
Wait, what?
You're looking into the fireplace.
Yeah. So you've had to climb, because everything here is upside down, yeah?
I'm sorry, Goldmoon. I'm just losing the plot a bit. Okay, I gently come off the shelf, not going into it, just coming backwards off of it.
Okay, yeah, you come down off the wooden shelf.
Okay. So, okay, let me sort of recap. What are you guys trying to find? Like a music book, a music sheet, or something?
Just looking around.
Any kind of musical thing that could have been used more than once.
Now that I'm thinking about it, wouldn't there be a few books down there where we were before that might have it?
Possibly.
I will say to everyone though in the group, make sure you spread out and don't keep wallowed in one area. The ceiling's a bit soft.
Yeah, okay. I'm gonna like tread gently, but I'm going to look around for like any clues or hints of like maybe a hidden door or something misplaced or basically anything.
This whole room is completely disorientating because it is upside down. I mean, you do realise that when Goldmoon explains to you that you've just been staring into the fireplace and looking down the chimney because the room's upside down.
Yeah.
You realise that you were standing on the mantelpiece, which was originally a mantelpiece, not a shelf.
Oh.
Okay.
Well, I'm still gonna look for anything that might be out of the ordinary. You know, maybe a stone is a little bit out of place or misplaced or something like that. You know, like a secret compartment area or something. Basically, any clues.
Okay. Yeah, you can set about looking around.
Yeah, can I roll an investigation check to see if I find anything?
Do you have any skills on your back of your character sheet to be able to do that? To help
Any
you?
investigation skills?
Mm-hmm.
You'd
You'd have some on your tracking or anything like that. Have you got any? On the back of your character sheet, you'd have some tracking ones or some self-discovery.
Let's see. Hunting,
Reading track.
survival, running. I'm not 100% sure.
You just check on the back of your character sheet.
That's what I'm looking at the moment.
You know what I realised? We could get we'll have to try it one day, not today, but we'll have to get Riven in here and try to do a bit of like background music.
Yeah. The problem I put my own background music on the actual recordings of the.
Wouldn't it be like an intelligence roll or something like that?
Yeah, I just want to check.
Haven't you got like survival or something like that?
I do that, but would that be suitable for investigation though?
Because you're a
Because I
hunter,
don't-
so.
I may be a
Ranger.
hunter, but I'm not very good at. I'm not a thief,
Mm,
and thieves are normally known
Let's
for.
go. I'll look at the character sheet and
Yeah,
see
yeah.
what. Let
It's
me
not
just
take our tassel off.
Yeah, we do
damn it.
not.
Why
have
do we
them.
only have us?
We got,
I don't know.
hide in shadows and move silently. That's pretty much all there is.
Yeah.
Hunter, survival, running, plainsman, dwarf, dog, so yeah. Okay, so we'll go with a we'll do an intelligence roll. Yeah, go. Intelligence roll, go.
Intelligence is 13.
Yep.
So what would that be?
13 or less on a d20.
13 or less.
Mm-hmm. 13 or less.
I'm gonna get high, or you watch.
Oh, that's a
Yeah,
success.
natural 20.
Okay. Yeah, you get the full
You
inside of.
super see it.
Yeah, you see everything just in the room completely all at once. This
Mhm.
was a very elaborate kind of high status person, probably a politician's room. And the room that you were in next door must have been like a day nursery rather than an actual
Mhm.
bedroom.
Right.
Okay, that's why it had like a storeroom and a cellar kind of to one side of it. It must have like had been a day room or a nursery or some kind of like
So
homeschooling
nothing.
kind of thing, something like that. Yeah.
So nothing catches my eye of like either a secret compartment or.
There's no secret compartments.
Just
You-
something out of the blue. Or
No, there's not. This room has been literally turned up. Well, this entire house, and it was
What
originally
about
bigger than this. It was
what about the room that Goldmoon is in?
the room that Goldmoon's in. Yeah, the big living
Yeah.
room.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a giant living room. It's a very ornate and very, at one time, beautifully decorated. You probably be able to actually recognise some of the patterns used in the wallpaper, and period to a style that was fashionable probably around about 350 years ago.
So nothing in the room that I was in before, and I only recognise the type of pattern in the living room. Yes.
Yeah, yes, but you can tell that definitely this has been some kind of high status, probably a dignitary or an ambassador or somebody who was at the court of
Something of high
high status.
rank.
Yeah, high status.
High rank.
And it wasn't in fact a bedroom. It looks like it's been some kind of downstairs nursery. Looks like it was a downstairs nursery. And a very high state living room. And you do notice the harpsichord, and you recognise the mark of the manufacturer as Calypso Flamingo, who was
Calypso Flamingo.
yeah, Calypso Flamingo. He was a very famous musician, and this is probably one of maybe only 2 harpsichords he ever manufactured.
I explained this to both Goblin and.
There you go.
Cool. I mean, I'm still continuing walking around the corner.
I don't know how I know it. I just somehow know it.
No, that's fine. I'm going to continue walking around this corner, but I'm going to do it very carefully now because I know this is a bit where
It is damp.
Raceland said it's a little bit precarious.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you for reminding me.
As you make your way further and further around this, like into the stateroom kind of thing, more and more your way back towards Caramon. The boards which were making up the roof are a lot like bouncy. Yeah, they don't feel quite so solid. They actually feel quite damp and a little soft in places as well. You take you're almost going to take a step, and then you realise there's a great big hole right in front of you. So you can sidestep around it, but that's the early indication that there is a weak structure underneath. You can't see down into it. You don't know if there's room below, and you can't tell if there's an actual roof below or anything like an attic or whatever.
I try to stay on the beams as much as possible, like where the roof the ceiling
cross
beams.
beams, the ceiling beams.
Yeah.
You stay on those, so you like
looking for where the nails
balancing
and that line up.
You're balancing yourself on these very thick, solid suspension beams that stretch across the whole of what used to be the roof. They seem to be a lot more solid and a little bit more sturdier than the actual what remains of the ceiling boards, which you can see now are like there's several of them missing now in this part of the actual room.
I love how much time we waste in just a room.
It's amazing.
How do we get out? Go back the same way, but I want to explore first.
Okay, so
Just to make sure there's good stuff.
Yeah. You're making your way through the room, and you can see that there is a room that seems to be in the centre of the house. You're not too sure what this room is, but it's not a very big room. It's only about 20 feet by 20 feet size.
Bet the kitchen.
You can't tell if it's the kitchen. There's a door on the far side.
Well, it's what I personally believe now. Some sort of like kitchen-y room.
Is there a way to reach that center room from where I am?
Yeah. You'd have to
but
step
boards
over
are
the door frame and the door floorboards, the actual boards, the old ceiling boards, are very, very thin and very, very bouncy, and some of them are kind of like cracked a little bit as well on that door, on that particular side of the door.
Yeah, I'm not going to risk it then.
No, it's just the only reason we went the long way round.
Okay.
Okay.
Back downstairs. Flint,
Yay!
Tanis, Tika, and Tasselhoff, and their new associate.
Did she give her a name?
Yeah, we're going to call her.
Phyllis.
No.
What's your name, Missy?
Kiwi Blossom.
I'm gonna ask her.
Kiwi Blossom.
Kiwi Blossom.
Okay, Kiwi Blossom.
Kiwi Blossom.
I'm going to first direct the Gully Dwarf, who's holding all of the clay seals, to pass me a couple of the clay seals to hold on to.
Okay, he kind of like splurts a couple out of his mouth.
I immediately wipe them off on my already wet and damp clothes. It's gradually dry. It's gonna wash them regardless. And they're already a mess, so shrug. And then I suggest that the Gully Dwarf might want to go see Big Boss before us, and that we will catch up.
And the Gully Dwarf's not going to go see Big Boss,
Why is the Gully Dwarf not going to go see Big Boss?
because the Big Boss is the Big Boss. No, the Big Boss is big scary.
Okay, is not the big boss.
You mean Little Boss?
the big boss?
Little Boss.
Just the boss.
Boss.
Just the boss. The boss.
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 The boss who's looking for the thing. You want to show him the thing, yeah?
Oh, that boss. Boss over there. Boss this way.
You go on. You go ahead. We'll
Okay,
catch
so you
up.
see him like his little legs kind of like skip along and just trot away in front of him. Gully Dwarves' legs aren't very long, and they seem to walk almost like peg-legged because of the way their knees are, like, you know, their skeleton structure's built. They're very short and stubby. As you walk him, are you following the little Gully Dwarf?
I was actually attempting to send him off so that he wouldn't get in trouble.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, right. You're gonna get rid of him. Okay, right. Yeah, he's gonna go off and he'll go find Big Boss and he'll bring the bug. But if he finds the Big Boss, he'll bring Big Boss.
Okay.
Okay. Right. Kind of like nods his head. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then he looks down into his shirt bucket kind of thing where he's holding all the rest of the clear seals, and he spits out another clear seal, and then he turns and just keeps running.
Ew.
Okay.
Okay, nice.
Alright. So, Kiwi Blossom, was it?
Kiwi Blossom, yes.
Call you Kiwi.
So let's go stand over here and just slightly out of earshot against the wall real quick. Because Gully Dorsal, they will not understand us. Use as many big words as possible so we can confirm that.
Yeah.
And then Tennis using very, very accentuated vocabulary begins to explain to Kiwi Blossom why they're here and what they're looking for.
Okay, so you explain that you're looking for some kind of ancient relic that you've received instruction of the possibility whereabouts of this ancient relic, and you would like to acquire it.
Yes.
Okay.
And I say that in bigger words.
Oh yeah, very big words.
3-4 syllables minimum.
Oh yeah. Kiwi Blossom says that she is not aware of any treasure or valuables that meet that description because she has not been privileged to actually witness that deposit.
I'm gonna ask Kiwi Blossom if there was a specific rotation that they were doing with her people in the barracks that would predict who was going to see the dragon next. Once again, gigantic words.
They went in legal status of the tribe's people's hierarchy.
So, low ranking to high or high to low?
High ranking to low ranking. They shoved the low ranking officialates into what can you say? Into seclusion.
Okay. And the high ranking ones got to go see the dragon.
Okay, that's blunt. That's blunt.
Well, I'm thinking aloud here. I'm not actually.
Oh,
talking.
okay.
That definitely clears that up. So, Goldmoon's gonna have a fun day.
The two Gully Dwarf females who are doing the laundry are chatting about various things. One of those things is that they're talking about is one Gully Dwarf is complaining that her partner had invited his brother over to stay with him from the east side of the city without letting her know. Yeah. And they're busy still spearing the laundry.
I ask if Kiwi Blossom has any means in which to defend herself.
She has a small little flick knife.
Okay.
She kept it hidden. It's the smallest item she actually could keep hidden from them when they were taken.
Okay. Then I ask her if she would like to continue to join us, because we're about to go face a dragon.
Well, that's not a good
Or she
idea.
would rather go up a sewer pipe.
She's gonna try and get out of here. If she can help out to like rescue as many of her own people as she possibly can, then she'll do that. But her main priority is just to get out of here and just try and make it back to her original tribe, to get back to her tribe, to a village. She's got no intention whatsoever of trying to take a dragon on with or without a flick knife.
Got it. So I asked her then for as much detail about the complex as she possibly knows, preferably on map scroll. And I borrow from Tanis one of his multiple map scrolls that he has borrowed from other people. Tasselhoff, sorry.
Okay.
I borrowed one of Tasselhoff's map scrolls that I know he's borrowed.
Okay, Tasselhoff looks blankly at you as if to wonder why. How do you know that he's got such items on him?
I look at him and I say, "Are you really expecting me to believe you don't?"
Yeah?
Mm-hmm. He has a point.
He has a point. Okay.
Let's see here.
I'm just going to bring up...
Kender like to explore. Specifically, Tasselhoff makes his money in map drawing. Yeah.
Makes
Yes,
some money,
map
okay.
scrolls.
Now, yeah, are you insinuating that they just, like, make money from making maps?
Tasselhoff makes very brilliant maps, so I suspect that if he's going to sell anything, it would be a map, but he really doesn't like to hand them over, last I ever checked.
No, he doesn't like to hand them over. It will take some time for him to actually find a map, a suitable map. You make sure you get the right map.
Well, I just need a blank piece of paper, but okay.
Yeah.
He's
Just
gonna,
get a blank piece of paper.
he's gonna make sure that you get the right map.
Yeah, I just need the lady to write down directions on where are the cells so we can find them. Whereabouts does she feel the dragon is? And the pathway they came in, just in case there's another way out.
Okay, so I need Kender Pockets. Kender Pockets. Where's the Kender Pockets table at?
Yeah, he has a Kender pocket.
He has access to something
Of
called...
many things has
Kender
collected
pocket.
over the trinkets.
Yep. Nobody knows what Kenders carry in their pockets.
Kenders have miniature bags of holding. But just a ton of miniature bags of holding.
Not
That's
even the
explanation.
Kender knows what a Kender carries.
No, Kenders don't know.
10
it.
times off.
No, they really don't. Like, their fingers will just grab stuff and put it in their miniature bags of holding. And then just grab more stuff. They don't even realize they're doing it 90% of the time.
Yeah, if not 100% of the time.
Such kleptos.
Well, they're
That's
Kender.
okay.
So, yes. Kleptomaniacs to the T. That's all they do.
Yeah, they are very interesting little characters. I'm just bringing the table up, and then somebody wants to get 2 10-sided dices out because it's a D100. I know that. While I find out what Kender Pockets is on, I know I've seen it somewhere.
That's not a D10.
D10.
These are D10s. Do I need to roll?
Once I find the table.
Okay.
Lee, what is wrong with your thing?
Are you holding to flick, Lee?
He's holding to measure or do something.
What are you on about?
Your finger and it's
Oh, I
not-
just got a different icon, that was all. It's just a different
Oh, it's a
thing
different
for
icon. Oh.
Yeah.
Wait, is it?
Yeah.
It looks like you're
Why is
measuring
it
or
showing?
something.
Yeah.
Why does it
That's
show
why
what?
I was. That's why I
It's
was
showing a
following.
white line of yours.
A white line?
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's 54.
That?
Yeah.
It's showing a
Oh,
white
it's
line like
then. Because it's still.
Alright, okay.
it's still
Yeah.
by Raceland.
Yeah.
Oh, well, it's down here where the dice are, because I can pick dice
No,
up and
your
move around.
fingers here.
No,
it's
your
a line.
thing is the line that we see.
There's a line? There's no line on my screen.
Well, there's a
That's
line
so
on
weird.
ours.
Got a bit of a line. It's alright, don't worry about it. Oh, who's rolling for Kender? Who's rolling for Tasselhoff? Tasselhoff is now searching through his pockets looking for a suitable...
Me.
Map.
Is really for Tasselhoff.
Okay.
Which one's the tens? Which one's the units?
The,
Red is the
the red's the
tens?
tens. Yeah, go for it. Complete random, so go. Oh, 80.
Whoops. 83.
83 is a useful map. It's actually a useful map. It's a map that he is very fond of. And it's a map of an area called the Ice Wall.
Probably not that useful anyway.
Yeah?
I knowing that this is a map that he is partial to, I tell him to put that one away and get me a blank piece of paper, please.
Okay, roll again.
Oh, you didn't ask for a blank piece of paper.
Not ruining a perfectly good map for the sake of scribbles.
54, it looks like.
Okay, he puts his hand back into another pocket and he pulls out something. It's white. It's folded. It's a handkerchief. It says,
When was it last?
I think this was Tika's.
Okay, Tika, may I use your handkerchief? Yes, you may. Thank you, Tika. I'll return it washed, maybe.
Okay, you can write on it. Yeah.
I can't anymore. I really can't no more,
Yeah.
guys.
It's a white handkerchief. It's clean. It's folded, and he doesn't know how it got in there. Last time he saw it, and last time anybody saw it, was in Tika's apron. In the inn of the last home back in Solace.
So yeah, Tika's a little upset.
I don't. I'm just saying this as a in embodied voice. I don't think drawing on a handkerchief may work.
Like get
It'll look
signatures on
lovely
them.
enough for scribble. We're good. Okay, so we're gonna
You
grab-
sure with a freaking pencil
Well, whatever. Yeah.
or some type of?
Well, the pencils in this era are going to be graphite based.
Yeah.
And with a
It'd be
little
fine.
bit of water,
It'd be fine.
we'll be just
Be alright.
fine.
He says, yeah, just like he doesn't know how it got there, but you know, when you finish with it, could he have it back?
No.
No, Tika will have it back because it's Tika's.
He was looking. He was just looking after it.
I recognize that, but Tika's right there, and she can have it back.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
And Tika is not pleased. I'm just saying as an
Okay.
disembodied
So,
voice.
there we go.
Okay,
So,
using graphite pencil, water, and handkerchief, I have Kiwi Blossom draw us her best rendition of where is everything.
okay. She says that the dragon is in a. Let's just change the color here, make it a little bit easier for everybody to see. There we go. Is in a very large area here. Yeah.
Okay.
She doesn't know anything about the actual treasure or anything like that, but she assumes it is in here because she's seen some of the actual Draconians carry in, like treasure chests and loot and various bits and pieces from around the city, being placed in here. But they seem to always come and go by this corridor. Yeah.
Okay, so that's the common corridor. Got
Yeah,
it.
this is like yeah, they always seem to come and go by this corridor. There is an assortment of cells. This is like a sorting room kind of thing, and then she says there's like a waiting room, and then there's various small like communal cells. Yeah,
Okay.
and then there seems to be a string of individual cells, and then there's like a back door to this place, which leads to, she assumes, she's not entirely certain, seems to lead to like the dragon also, and that's where like they take the people who are like forcibly removed and sent towards the dragon, probably for like cross-examination or interrogation.
Yeah, that's exactly what a dragon's doing to them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, the treasure seems to go in and out this way, and the Draconians themselves seem to go in and out this way. None of the prisoners. Prisoners seem to be like go down this way here, and it seems to be like the sorting room where most of their gear and their clothing and all the rest of it's taken from them, their possessions and all the rest of it. Then there seems to be like 3 large sorting areas, and then some individual cells. And then there seems to be a back door way out of it, which is like where they're taken for cross-examination and, you know, like torture and all the rest of it brought before the dragon. Okay?
Okay. So in exchange for this information, I point her to the rivers, and I point her to the river on the left-hand side that is going straight up the middle. And I say, our friends went that way, and you have a best chance of getting out with them. If you see them on your way out, tell them where we are.
Okay.
And I also inform her that if she comes across any gully dwarfs, that what she is doing is for the boss. And that she doesn't need help, she's fine. And that they need to be looking for something. And why aren't they looking?
Okay. And she kind of nods, like, still confused, but like understands slightly. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't quite make sense, but she trusts what you're trying to say is what making sense. And she makes off towards past the 2 laundry women, who's still spearing shirts and garments in the river. It dawns on you again that once the shirt has been speared and successfully killed, it's making its way back into the barrel and then gets thrown back into the river again. Okay.
Not the brightest people in the bunch.
Never.
So she makes her way around. She makes her way around those, and you see her just busily sculling around, and she disappears around the corner, down the main plaza, like the main, you know, promenade area. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, Raistlin.
Yes.
Scratching around, like you see that, there's lots of pieces of music. Yeah.
Is there any of them that stand out to be something that has been used a lot?
They're all tattered and they're all torn and all the rest of it. You know what I mean? There's a few music books. Some are old, some are like really old. Half the pages are missing. There's a big pile of them. Big pile of just like there's music paper. There's some like they've been burned around, they're singed around the edges.
I pick up the ones that look as if they've been singed around the edges.
Yep, they're still smoky. You can smell the smoke on them, the soot.
Are they eligible, as in readable?
You can read them, it's no problem.
Okay, I start playing some of the music on some of these pages, just to see if anything happens.
Okay, you gonna play music?
Yes.
Alright, I need a wisdom roll or less.
My wisdom is currently sitting at 14.
Okay, 14 or less.
Well.
Alright, you play the first bar of music.
Does anything happen?
No, but it sounds nice. Caramon, you are back at the pipe, and you hear the first bar of a piece of music that you're not too sure if you've heard it before, or you might have heard it somewhere. But if you've heard it recently, or you've heard Tika maybe hum it.
It sounds familiar.
Sounds familiar, but you can't exactly name it, and you don't know where you've heard it before. But you might have heard it before, maybe in your travels. And it's not too loud, but it's not too quiet. It's kind of like, but you definitely heard like about 6 notes being played.
Yeah.
Okay. Still stood with
Yeah.
the pipe.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Raistlin?
Try playing the next bar.
Okay.
Like that song, that particular song.
Okay. Gold Moon.
Black sheep.
Gold
I'm
Moon.
just going to continue walking around towards where I think that door is.
Alright, okay. Making your way around the door.
Being very careful.
Yeah, yeah.
So
If I see Cameron, I go, hello.
14 again.
13 just.
13.
Alright, the second bar has
Wait, did you get?
Hmm?
Did you get a natural? No, you didn't.
I
get a
didn't know.
natural.
It's 13. Yeah, only just you play the next bar. You just barely get over the next bar. It's got a lot more notes in the next bar. But yeah, Caramon,
Yeah.
you hear the next bar of the music, and it's like, oh, yeah, definitely heard this before. Definitely heard this before somewhere. Yes, and you start like humming along to yourself, like trying to play it properly inside your own head.
Yeah.
Okay. Gold
Okay.
Moon, you're making your way around. How much do you weigh, Gold Moon?
Oh no.
Let me check.
Okay.
Everyone, Goldman probably weighs the less without.
No, because me and Raceland had this discussion before. I weigh 152 lbs.
That's
pounds.
fine. That's fine. Yeah, you can make it round to the other side of the door.
So that's why we decided to go around, because we were the lightest two out of everyone.
You can see there is a doorway there, and the door is the door's still in its place. Because the room's upside down, the door frame itself has become twisted and the door's become jammed.
Issue.
Sorry, how much did you say that Goldman weighs?
Oh, I'm more than you. Don't worry.
Yeah, because I'm looking at the weight for my character, and I can discern whether that's a 3 or whether it's another 7. It looks more like a 3. I'm just going to say this on the recording. For those of you who are watching at home or listening, when we get given the character sheets, some of the text that, the text point,
It's a little bit hard to read.
it's very difficult. So when you hear us saying maybe a 4 or a 7, but it looks like a 1, oh, wait a minute, this 3 could be a 6.
A 3 could be a 6.
We're having difficulty. Yeah, 3 could be a 6. We're having very difficulty, like a lot of difficulty reading the actual numerical stuff.
Yeah.
The door is shut.
Door's
and
shut.
barred.
It's not barred, it's
twisted.
jammed because the door frame itself. The door's still in the door frame. And the house being turned upside down is kind of like concertina the door a bit, like crushed it a little bit, pinched it.
Like, is it?
Can I not open the door?
You can't stand on the surface in front of it. The ground would just give
from
away.
my side.
Whereas the door is here in this corner here. You have to come into the room across the crappy floor. That's why we went round the long way to avoid the crappy floor.
Where's it, Raceland? Raceland weighs 135 pounds. It wouldn't be 735 pounds, that's for sure.
Can I give the door a little nudge to see if that happens? Or
Yeah, you have to do a strength. Let's have a look at your character. What do you got?
like, without trying to like ruin my feet.
You can just shoulder barge your door.
You use the end of my stalker. Open, damn you! Open.
Yeah, you got an open doors roll, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, 7 or less.
7 or less.
Yeah, 7 or less on a d20.
Wow. Why is that? Why is it 7 or less?
Because your strength's terrible.
Oh.
I'm not surprised.
Well, my strength's 12.
Yeah, and lovely. It says hit probability, damage adjustment. What's that? Weight allowance, maximum press, open doors, bend bars, lift gates. Open doors is 7. So open doors.
Oh, I see that. Oh.
7 or less.
Oh, is that what that meant? Okay.
Yeah, that's what I mean. You don't go throwing yourself at a door. So, like, just,
Okay. I'll go give it a go.
I'm gonna give it
Oh,
a
really?
Yeah.
7 or less.
I mean,
He's
I
not gonna make
kind
it.
of flicked to 3, so does that work?
You flicked a 3.
Oh, the
I
line's
picked it up, I
gone.
dragged it, and it went.
Yeah, line's gone. You were on the flipping flick. That's why.
Well, I don't know why there was a line there, because it was, I don't know.
It was
Yeah.
a glitch. It's fine.
All right. Okay.
I couldn't even see it on the stream. I looked on the stream.
That's all
Yeah,
right.
like before anything else, I'm just gonna say, guys, that after this bit, I'm gonna be heading off to bed. I'm getting quite tired, so.
Okay.
No worries.
Okay. Yeah. You kind of like put your shoulder up against the door and just bash up against it. Yeah.
See, you should never doubt me in low rolls.
Really?
I'm great with low rolls.
So you say, not in most games.
There is. You hear the door kind of give way, like come open kind of thing. Yep. Then there's an enormous like cracking sound.
Oh no, the ceiling's gonna fall down. Or the floor's gonna fall up. One of the others.
The floor's gonna fall.
Well, I'm on the ceiling, so it's got to go down, and if the floor falls up, it's going to be on the ceiling.
Okay, so yeah,
It's complicated.
it's complicated. The door moves. The door moves. You hear this cracking sound. You've got to do a dexterity roll
Oh no.
to get out the way of whatever the door was actually supporting.
Oh no, and like, do I get to choose which way I roll? Like, which way I go?
I mean, which way?
In the room, out the
yeah,
room.
you can. Yeah,
Or do I just need to just get out of the way? Is
you
that
just
the
need to
thing?
get out of the way.
I'll just get out of the way. I'll
Just get out of the way for the moment. Yeah. The floor's
So,
going to come down on top of you.
And my dex is 14.
Yep.
Am I seeing this, or am I in a different room?
You're still around the
yeah.
corner.
That's an 18.
Oh, that was so close.
Wait, what was your thing that you need to succeed?
14.
14 less, got an 18.
But it pivoted on a 5 for so long for me.
Oh
he
no.
should be fine, shouldn't he? He
No,
got
no,
18.
14.
14 or less.
I've got to get 14 or less.
You got
Hang
he got an
on.
18.
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't I had a critical fail then if I rolled a natural 20?
Natural 20 always
Natural
succeeds.
20 always succeeds.
No, a natural 20 always succeed, and natural ones always fail. But for
Okay,
checks like this,
that's really confusing.
No, it's not.
To me it is.
No.
yeah.
Because normally a higher roll means that you success more, while a lower roll means not so much.
No.
Yeah,
The higher your dexterity, the better percentage you have of succeeding.
Okay, I'm just gonna say this right now. Dragonlance is freaking confusing. I would not recommend that.
Well, either way, I did not succeed.
You don't succeed, no. So the you hear this cracking sound, and the floor above, which was like resting on the door itself, when the door moved, yeah, the floor itself comes crashing down. You just barely managed to get out of the way, but there is a beam has come down and has pinned your leg against the beams that were formerly the ceiling, which is now the floor, and you now got your leg trapped.
Do I take damage?
No, you don't take any damage, but you are trapped on the door.
Okay.
The door is open. The door has kind of fell back in on itself and kind of lopped in at a 45-degree angle, and you can see from what's inside there is was formerly the kitchen.
Yes! Yes! I mean, sort of yes, because I'm stuck. But yes, I knew it was the kitchen.
There's a lot of pans and a lot of pots and things like that. There's a lot of pots and lots of pans and lots of metalwork and all the rest of it, which is oh, that's fantastic. But like in old medieval kitchens, kind of like old Renaissance kitchens, there was a solid iron auger. Yeah. Which
okay.
was originally bolted to the floor, but because the roof's been turned upside down, is now hanging from the ceiling.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's hanging just off to one side of where you're at. If it falls, don't worry, it won't hit you, but it'll go straight through the floor.
Yeah.
And this is the best part. This is not like post-industrial. This is pre-industrial. This is like blacksmith work, heavy
Yeah.
iron. If it falls from the floor, which it's been bolted down to, it literally will just drop straight through what used to be the former ceiling, creating a very big hole.
Another way down.
Wait, what?
Could
sorry, guys,
do
I'm
with
just
some
getting-
assistance, please. But please be very careful. Come around sparingly.
Oh,
The ground
right.
is very soft and does not take heavy load. And I'm trying
so
to...
I'm gone now.
No, but maybe just watch me die.
My weight is 175.
Maybe you might be too big for this.
Do you
So
want bloody
you're
help or
right.
not, Goldmoon?
Oh, no. We got the two weaklings are going to be stuck.
I basically like carefully get to her and just reach my hand out to her. Say, just reach my hand. Come on.
That's no good. My leg is pinned. I need you to remove the beam.
Are you serious?
I can reach and grab, but I cannot move.
Okay, so
Don't you have a levitation spell or something?
Now, Raistlin,
No, I'm a cleric.
the enormous crash that you've heard coming from where Goldmoon went has put you seriously
Raistling's
off
fault.
your ability to be able to play music.
No. It was his fault. He played the right tune to make the door fall on me. That's what I'm going to say. His secret door fell on me.
okay, so
Secret-
I'm looking at the situation.
Hold on a sec.
What?
The
So-
secret door that he opened himself and got on himself.
Yeah, it's because your fault.
Your fault, hon. The door
Anyway,
or your betrothed is there to save you.
sorry, I'm just getting a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, she's pinned. Yes.
Yes,
By where?
by the leg.
By the leg. Can I somehow like budge it? Budge the thing that's pinning her?
It's part of a beam, a part of a beam that used to be on the floor, kind of thing, has come down and with part of rubble, and it's come across Goldmoon's leg, which is not in its own right is not a big problem. Goldmoon can't move it by herself, so needs some help being able to move it. But Goldmoon can also see that there's a giant auger, probably the best part of maybe a ton, maybe a ton and a half of solid iron that is bolted to the former floor, which is now the roof, hanging upside down.
Okay, I get the brief bit. I'm gonna try and move the beam.
Try and move the beam.
Yeah.
Okay. Just do a straight strength check.
Strength.
Yep, strength check.
My strength. It's got like that 18/35.
All right. So if you roll anything except a 19, you automatically can move the beam.
It's gonna be a 19.
Anything but a 19. That's a failure.
Natural. What? I knew it. You should have said a 19 or a 1.
One's automatic. It's the lowest number you can get.
Fuck.
I did like that was like
minute.
18, like 8. Was it almost like what would it be like 5 times 8? So
17.
5 times 18. So yeah, you could have like 18 out of 20 chance of being able to do it and still fail. Oh, okay. So you go to get the beam. Yeah, you start pulling the beam, and as you start pulling the beam, Goldmoon, you notice that the arcade itself detaches itself from the ceiling by one leg.
Am I able to push Riverwind away or something? Or like...
Oh yeah, you still got your staff. You still got your staff, so you can belt him over the head if you want, or click him more. You know.
I'll do that.
Ow!
Careful, you're going to make the auger fall. And if it does fall, I knock him to the side.
If it does fall.
It does fall, yeah.
Because I'm looking at it now, I'm going to keep an eye
Oh
on
yeah,
it.
it's purposely just
Oh,
hanging
I
onto the.
whack
You can actually see the restraints that's holding it to
Yeah,
the roof now
it's just
just
as
starting to bend.
Goldmoon whisper as it's just when Goldmoon like hit
Yeah.
him on the head. He's like, you didn't have to hit me that freaking hard, jeez. Can I try again?
Yes, but you got a strength check with a -1 penalty.
So no 18.
17 or less. Say between 17 and 2.
Oh yes.
11.
Okay. You taking your time this time. You kind of look around and you can see the beams covered by like copper pots and various cooking utensils and stuff like that. So you do a little bit slower this time.
Mm-hmm.
And you just lift, instead of like trying to like using brute force and just trying to like lift the whole beam out the way. You just want to lift it just by a couple of inches, ever so slowly, and Gold Moon can just manage to get her leg out.
That's me scooting back.
That was awkward.
Okay, Arga
Thank
is
you.
just holding on by 3 bolts.
If I knock it, where would it fall?
Straight down. It's not going to go left or right.
Right.
It's just going to drop like a
No,
brick.
but where would it fall riveted from the door?
Oh, it'll come down pretty much like partway on the door and partway mostly in the kitchen.
Okay.
It'll just create a hell of a hole. That's all. You don't like when it punches through, it won't be the shape of an Arga. It'll be the shape of a
I
crater.
still want to look in the kitchen. I want to have a quick poke around in the kitchen. I'm so bad. It's like, I know it's the kitchen now. I just want to look around it.
What do you want in the kitchen? Pots and
I don't know.
pans?
I just don't know. I'm too curious.
All right. So Gold Moon is going.